disciples, let us cross over to the other side. What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone? It is another day, another time, and another week for yours and my favorite Monday night show. And since Monday Night Football is officially over now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your favorite show, my favorite show, We'll Talk Monday. You all. We are here. We have been enjoying this month. We have had some powerful conversations about love, about all of that. And we even had a Black History discussion. So look, we tonight is not going to be any different. You all, tonight I have a straight up boss in the building with me. When I tell you all, like this young lady right here, she is a mega boss. She is a certified life coach, a speaker, an author, and specializing in empowering women to overcome setbacks from life challenges and heartbreak. She helps women create accountability, accountability life plans to achieve their goals. Accountable life plans to achieve their goals. She has been featured on every major media platforms such as CEO Weekly, Fox News, Sano, Nebraska, Digital Journal, among others. She is the author of the 30 Days of Bouncing Back, tips of overcoming setbacks from life challenges, and offering practical skills for reliance and personal growth. I'm talking about my homie, my friend, Miss Ivanka Barron. So, ladies and gentlemen, after this interlude plays, the next place you will see is that of my guest on tonight. And you all, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, you know what? It's Valentine's Day month. I ain't even gonna play with y'all. I'm not gonna play with y'all. I'm not gonna go off on y'all tonight. Let's go. Hello. How are you?
Doing good. Hello to you too.
I'm all right. So, in case my audience has been living under a rock like I have these last few years, tell my audience a little more about you.
Well, I'm actually originally from a small island in the Caribbean called Dominica. So I'm an island girl originally, and I moved here from New York. I lived in New York for many years, and I moved to Georgia after about, I would say, about 13 years. And Georgia is my home now, so I'm here in Atlanta. And moving here was one of the reasons that I became a coach. And I will share a little bit more, later on, how that happened and why Georgia became my home. But thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. Thank you for coming. Like, I'm looking forward to having this discussion. I remember when we first had our meet and greet and kind of discussed doing a show like this. It was we knew that it had to happen.
Yes.
So tonight we are going to talk about healing from heartbreak,
Mm-hmm.
bouncing back from heartbreak. I mean, since I have the bounce back coach, it's only right that we talk about bouncing back from heartbreak.
Right.
So I'll let you start it off. When I say bouncing back from heartbreak, what is one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people deal with?
Well, bouncing back, people hear bouncing back, they think it's just, easy. You just, snap out of it. It's instant, but it's a process. Bouncing back is a process. It's a process of your mindset, a process of making an action plan. It's a process of different things. And so it's not like, a quick, fast process at all, but it does take some work on your part to say, you know what, I'm ready to make the change. I'm ready to uncover what are the things that was holding me back, and really putting your effort into your goals, effort into your dreams to make it happen. Because when we're in a relationships, a lot of times what happens is that we lose ourselves in that relationship. The relationship becomes our new goal, and nothing is wrong with relationship goals, but what about our personal goals? And so when we lose ourselves in a relationship and that relationship is no longer, then we feel like we lost, or we lose our identity. We lose, what we were working on, what we were building towards. And so we have to really look back at ourselves and say, well, what were the things that I always wanted to do? What were my goals? What were my dreams? And really start focusing on that and making a real clear, solid plan of how to make that happen for ourselves. So that's where the bouncing back comes in, because we were on a path before the relationship, and then we, somehow something major happened and we fell off. We have to bounce back to what we really wanted to do for ourselves.
I agree with that 1,000% because a lot of times we do lose ourselves in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. We forget who we are because we become so caught up in trying to be everything for everyone else. And
Mm-hmm.
that don't even have to be in just like a relationship with your husband, your wife, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. That could be just losing yourself in relationships in general,
Mm-hmm.
like with friendships and all. Like you can lose yourself trying to be there for everybody else
Mm-hmm.
because we a lot of times a lot of people are always there for other people, but when it's time for them to get poured back into, who's
Mm-hmm.
pouring into the one that pours out to everyone else?
Right. That's true. Because it's not right, you're right. And heartbreak is not only relationship. Heartbreak could happen with family members, siblings, friends that, friends you have relationships or different relationships. So broken relationships altogether.
I agree with that 1,000%. It's a all around thing. You can deal with heartbreak through anything and everything because if you don't, and here's the thing also, a lot of people mess up because they don't deal with the heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
What they want to do is just jump into something else because they feel like if I jump into something else, then I can heal while I'm going through something else. And in all honesty, what they end up doing is they end up bleeding on this other person.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
So here's my question to you. Another question I have for you. If someone is dealing with heartbreak, like they've lost someone that was very close to them, as a coach, how long would you tell them to wait before they try to get into something else? Because of the simple fact of making sure they're not trying to bleed on this other person.
Everyone is different and everyone's mindset is different in terms of how long it will take them. But what determines the factor is really identifying what are the things that you wanted to do for yourselves first,
Mhm.
And if you're still holding on to the past, you haven't forgiven that person, or you haven't let go of the past, then you won't be able to move forward. So however long it takes you to be able to move forward is how long you have to wait before you start, you know, going back out there and bleeding on that other person. And so it takes a lot. If you know that you can't handle it on your own, then it's recommended to see a therapist or a counselor, someone to help you heal from the past. Because if you're holding on to the past, you won't be able to move forward. And as a coach, what the coach comes in, the coach come in, and when you have done, you've dealt with the past and you're ready to move forward, that's when the coach comes in. But as long as you're stuck in the past, the coach can't help you. No matter how much we try, you have to be able to let the past go so that you can really move forward and, you know, do all the great things that you plan out to do and meet that other person that you meant to be with. But again, you have to deal with that past first so that you can move forward and not take with the past with you to the next relationship.
I agree with that. I agree with that because you, like I said, you end up bleeding on that other person, and then that person ends up getting in another relationship because you bled on them, and they
Hmm.
start bleeding on somebody else, and then it's like a continuation cycle.
It's a cycle. Agreed.
So another question I have for you is: a person is dealing with a lot of family issues. They've had like family trauma that has been passed down through years and years and years, generations to generation. And what would you tell them of how to break those generational curses? How would you coach them into breaking those generational curses?
Yeah, and I hear that a lot, and you know, it's so hard for people like that who've been like family after family after family, is, you know, to break that cycle. But it takes the person focusing on themselves and really identifying, you know what, there's something wrong, there's something that I need to change, there's something that I need to work on, to, you know, because I know the way I've been going in my life is not the right way. I see my family members, you know, family after family going through the same things, and it stops with me, and they have to really uncover that for themselves and start making some steps to do that. And I would say they would need to get some therapy in there, because it takes a lot of talking and an expert really talking them through the past and what are the things that's hurting, and what are the things that's really they're carrying on with them, all the negative. So it takes a therapist or a counselor to really uncover that with that person, to break that cycle, because something you've been doing, you know, time and time and time again, may not seem, you know, like a negative to you, but you don't realize, you know what, it's ingrained in you, it's part of you, and you think it's the norm to live the way you've been living, all the negativity that's been passed on. And but it takes, you know, a strong person to deal with it, to have actually decide to do, you know what, I want to speak to a therapist or a counselor to break that cycle, to get it out of them, because they don't know what they don't know. So it takes the expert to uncover what that is and how they can move forward, so that they can get the coach to build them back up and they can bounce back from that cycle.
I agree. I like what you said. It takes they have to want to break that cycle. I like what you said that because they do have to want to break it. It's like you can want it for somebody for so long, but
Hmm.
until they actually get to that point to where they are sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Right.
it's like beating a dead horse.
Exactly. And if you don't know what you don't know, like, you would want to do it and you want to change, but you know, if you can't help yourself, you have to get somebody else to help you. That's what they're there for. That's what the experts are there for. So don't try to do it on your own, because it's going to take you a long time to figure it out. And why figure it out when there are experts who can help you?
I agree with that. I agree with that. So now I got a couple more questions for you. Then we're gonna play a fun little game of this or that.
Okay.
So the next question I have for you is as African Americans, in the day that we living in now, it doesn't seem as bad of a word now to say therapy, but what is the reason why there are some that still look at that and be like, you know what, I don't need therapy, even though they may actually need it?
Yeah, that's
Why
a
do you
really
feel
good
like
question.
that's like a still a thing in our culture?
Yeah, I would say it's just what we don't know, And if we're not taught that, or family members, we don't hear it from others that, it's okay to go to a therapist, we just don't know. And it's nothing against us, not it's just that we just don't know.
You know.
And once we understand that it's necessary or it's going to help us, then we can, we will take the step. But I would think back to what I was sharing earlier, my story, how I became a coach. I would say when I moved to Georgia, I was actually engaged, and me and my fiance, we decided we were going to move to start our new life together in Georgia. And when I moved, immediately during the moving process, I got my heart broken, and there was another woman involved in that process. And so I was in a new state in Georgia. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any family or friends, and I had no job because I had given up my job to move. And so there I was, I had no place of my own, and I was in the dump. I was in a really, really bad place because of everything that I left behind. I was established, and here I was with nothing. And I've maxed up my credit cards to live. I maxed up my savings. I used up all of my savings. And I did go to a therapist, and, after my first session, she says to me, you know what? This is too much for one person to bear. I'm going to give you a prescription to get some medication, because you shouldn't be, somebody cannot handle all of this on their own. And at that moment, I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. What does she know? She doesn't know me to tell me I need medication.
Right.
And so I'm like, no, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and I'm going to make a change. But I was reluctant to go to a therapist. It was recommended to me. But I'm like, no, I don't need that. Nobody, in our culture, I've never had anyone in my family who had seen a therapist. So to me, it wasn't the norm. And so when I decided to go, when she told me what she did, I'm like, you know what? I don't think so, because I'm like, that's not me. I didn't see myself as someone needing medication for my mental health. And so it was good and bad, because maybe at that time she saw something that I couldn't see for myself, and I should have taken her advice. But I know I was strong enough to make a change, and that was a deciding factor for me to say, you know what, this is serious. I need to take matters into my own hands and make a change. And that's when I started making a new plan. I wrote things down, what I wanted to do with my life, and I created a plan, and I followed all the steps of my plan. And when I made that plan, within 8 months, I bought a home. I had gotten a job within 2 months after, making more money. And I had gotten a second job as well. So I started putting things into place and following my plan. And that's how I was able to bounce back after deciding for myself that I needed more for myself, and I needed to focus on my goals. And so that's why I thought, if I could do that for myself, and, if I think there's other women out there who are going through what I've went through and doesn't know how to get out of that, I want to be that person for these women to show them, you know what? Yes, you've had a heartbreak from a major life event like moving and having nothing, but you can bounce back from that. I've done it, and you can too. And it may seem simple, but it takes you to decide, I want to make that change for myself. So going back to your question, yes, it's therapy. Most people don't think about therapy because they haven't heard about it, and they probably don't know anyone who goes to therapy and see the benefit of it. But the more we talk about it, the more everyone knows the benefits of it, the better we're going to be.
Yeah. So it's like the more we have conversations like this, the better.
Exactly. Like your platform, sharing like this, people just don't know. And so it's up to us to share that.
Yeah. The Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So, we got to make sure that we're spreading that knowledge so that people know that, like, you know what? Yeah, it's okay to admit that, you know what? I need a little extra help. And one thing I commend you for is, before you became the bounce back coach, you had to coach yourself on how to bounce back. So it's not like you telling somebody what they need to do. You are a living testimony of it. Like, look, I did it, so can you.
Exactly. And I say that all the time, because for me, I didn't even know what a life coach was at the time. If I knew, I probably would have found one to guide me, but I didn't know. And so I wish sharing, on platforms like this to learn, there's someone out there who can guide you, who can show you the ropes, show you the steps. So it can take you a shorter period of time to get to where you want to go. And so that's why I came in. And that's why I even wrote this book, 30 Days on Bouncing Back, tips on overcoming setbacks from life's challenges. It covers so many different challenges that we face as women, not only as women, but it applies to men as well, because we have so many challenges and we don't think about, you know what, you're not the only one going through that. Others have gone through it too. And there is a way to bounce back from that. So it's just really talking to a platform like yours and just sharing our experiences, what we've been through, and how we're able to overcome is what's going to help the other person. So thank you for having this platform.
All glory goes to God, and I appreciate you for coming on this platform and sharing your voice and lending your voice to my audience. So, all right, we're gonna have a little fun now. So I'm gonna give you 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
Out of these 3 options, you can only pick 2. One of these options, all of their work has to go, and everything that they done has to go. Like, so it can be like a TV show, a movie, or an actor, actress, or a singer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give you 3 options, and then you pick 2, and one of them has to go. So you pick one person to go, and all of their work and everything that they've done.
Okay. I hope I know who the person is.
Right, right. So we're gonna go New Edition, have Jackson 5, and we'll go Boys to Men.
Ooh. That's a question for my boyfriend. He's a DJ. And so he knows all the music and he knows all the artists. And so sometimes I will ask, who's that person or who's that person? Because I'm originally from Dominica. So I grew up listening to mostly like reggae music, soca music. And that's what I grew up listening to. But I did love Boys to Men. And as you know, in high school, I remember, we would be so excited to listen to the music. So I won't be the best choice. So audience, if you are there, don't beat me up about this. But
this is your pick. This is your pick. This is your pick.
And I love Boys to Men.
This is all your pick. This is your pick. The audience cannot beat you up for it. This is yours.
So I would keep Boys to Men and New Edition.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go TV shows now.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go The Cosby Show. We're gonna go Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and we're gonna go Family Matters.
Okay. Ooh. Those are all good. And one has to go.
One of them has to go.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The Cosby Show.
The Cosby's. And what's the third one again?
Family Matters. The
Family
one with
Matters.
Steve Urkel.
I mostly growing up not so much Family Matters, so that one would have to go. Not because I don't love it, is because growing up I didn't watch it as much. So that's the only reason.
I got you.
And when you have options, you pick what you know.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a good pick. I like that one. All right. So last one I'm gonna ask you. Let's go Bob Marley.
Ooh.
I'm speaking your language now. I got you. We're gonna go Bob Marley. We're gonna go Shaka Khan. And let me think. Stevie Wonder. We'll go Stevie Wonder.
Ooh. Bob Marley definitely stays. He's in my book. Oh, he's in the top of my books.
I already know. I
was just in a record store the other day and I found one of his old records. So anyway, I would say, I like Shaka. Let's say maybe Stevie Wonder. Not that because he's not, he's not an amazing artist.
Yeah. But with
just
that list, one of them had to go.
I know one of them has to go. So I'll pick Stevie Wonder. I still love his music, but if one has to go,
It's
then
got to be Stevie.
yeah,
That would
unfortunately.
probably be my pick too. Because I'm sorry, I
Uh,
love Stevie. I love him, but you putting him up against Bob Marley and Shaka
yeah,
Khan?
it's a lose-lose in my book.
Yeah. All right. So once again, we absolutely thank you for coming on. And I do promise you, you have to come back. I definitely would love to have you back on here and have more conversations like this tonight. And so, what I want you to do right now is I want you to tell my audience where they can find you at and give my audience a little bit of a closing word.
Yeah, sure. What you can find me on social media platforms at Coach Evancia. And you can also go to bouncebackfreegift.com. You get a free gift from me. It's some tips on overcoming a heartbreak, how to bounce back from that. It's a free gift. So you just put your information and your name and email address, and you get that in your email, and how to overcome a heartbreak. And once you receive that gift, you have the option to book a free call with me, just a strategy call. If you just want to talk through your goals and how to put a plan in place for those goals that you forgot about, or something that you wanted to work on, but you're just not sure how to put it in practice, book a free session with me. It's complimentary. You don't have to pay for that. And we will talk through your goals, your dreams, and what you want to accomplish, and put a plan in place so that you can start making some plans and move to bounce back forward. So again, it's bouncebackfreegift.com. Thank you so much for having me. I just love talking to you all about bouncing back, because that's a passion of mine. And I hope you follow me again on all social media platforms at Coach Evancia. And I'd love to be back to talk to you all. So thank you so much for having me.
No problem, no problem. Once again, you all, she is definitely coming back. We have to have her back on here. As we always say as we close out, sometimes our disappointments are nothing more than God's appointments, meaning some things that we look at as bad, God is only turning it around for our good. Stay blessed, and be a blessing to someone else. I want y'all to like this video. I want y'all to share this video. Go over there and blow up her website. Let's blow up her website. Buy her book and let's support her. Let's show her some love. Exactly. Buy her book, y'all. Buy it. I won't. Matter of fact, is your book on Amazon?
It is, but it's also on my website, evanciabaron.com.
So this is my challenge to my audience. I want you all to buy every copy of her book that she has online. I want her to have to literally have to restock her books. I don't want her to have any books after this interview airs.
Thank you.
No problem. So you all, I will see y'all next week. Peace. Thank you for watching another Reverend JC3 production. We appreciate all of your support. But before you go, here's a clip from one of our favorite episodes this season.
If you don't love yourself right now, 50 pounds is not going to make a difference. Losing 100 pounds is not going to make a difference. You have to love yourself right now. So I like to say, New Year, improve me. There's nothing wrong with me right now. I love me.
New Year improved me. I love that.
But I'm going to improve what's already here.
I love that. New Year improved me. I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to improve me because I already love me. I am good. There's just some things I'm going to tune up. And you think about those people that have those cars that they keep forever, and they just keep tuning it up and adding new things and making it better. But they love that car. They love their car.
You can also follow us on every major social media
and let's just make some improvements.
And until next week, I'll see y'all later.
I like that.
Peace.
So,
love y'all.